I've been covering the scandal of the text messages that Jay Jones, the candidate for Attorney General of Virginia, sent a while ago, and he was pretty much advocating and happy if his political opponent and his toddler children would die. And now he's apologizing for it, so let's take a look at the video. And just in case you haven't, you want to catch up, my first video on this guy was a while ago. The Jay Jones text situation is disgusting. It's like 24 hours ago, indeed. And my other video was 14 minutes ago. Yeah, and like recording this like back to back. Which Abigail Spanberger, the candidate for governor of Virginia, let's say that she tried to avoid as much the Jay Jones question. Do you endorse Jay Jones for attorney general since you're running for Virginia governor? And she was literally mute. You go watch it, because that was really cringe to watch. But we needed to bring Jay Jones to accountability, because there's texts in which they're breeding little fascists, talking about his opponent's kids, and like this: I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. And a lot more things that I can't even repeat here, but I already covered on my first video of this saga. And since no other, legacy media, mainstream media are covering this, because, that's how the mainstream media works, then we have to do the job and expose them. But I guess that Jay Jones wants people to listen to his apology, quote unquote. What I'm guessing he doesn't want is to be analyzed from a body language perspective. And just in case you haven't noticed, you are not in my main channel, the Body Language Guy. You are in my political commentary channel, The Power Pundit. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you get all the notifications, and like this video so we can get to 20K subscribers very soon. This is my channel that I will be focusing on political commentary, not only from the United States, but worldwide. But we are here. Jay Jones, I am ashamed, I am embarrassed, and I'm sorry. And let's take a look at the clip to see if he is really ashamed. And we're going to watch the clip first. It's really short. It's less than 1 minute. But make sure to pay attention to his facial expressions. That is the single most important thing. Maybe his body language, his general body language is not going to be as critical as the way that he says the words. And of course, while you're watching his facial expressions, make sure to pay attention to what he's saying to contrast one thing with the other.
You're also going to hear from my opponent about text messages that I sent that I deeply, deeply regret. Let me be very clear. I am ashamed, I am embarrassed, and I'm sorry. I am sorry to Speaker Gilbert. I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry to my family. And I'm sorry to every single Virginian. I cannot take back what I said. But you have my word that I will always be accountable for my mistakes. And you also have my word that I will spend every waking moment fighting for you.
The first thing that I noticed, this is the second time I watched this clip, very short. You noticed that it was really short. Maybe you focus on his facial expressions that I told you. But the first feeling that I had upon that first watch is that I thought for a moment, wait, it sounds and looks and feels like he's reading something. It was like you are very bad at reading a teleprompter or something, but this is a debate. At a debate, you don't have any teleprompters or anything to help you. So he must have memorized this like the exact same way that he just said that. The thing is that he memorized it and he just said that in the most mechanical way possible. I mean, I understand. That is understandable. That in these situations, you want to give an apology. I mean, I disagree, of course, with the texts. I don't like the guy and everything, but I need to address this from a technical perspective. You want to say the exact words that you need to say to deal with this crisis. That is crisis communication management. And you're going to memorize that. But at the same time, you have to practice how to say that, how to, say those words in a convincing, at least convincing way. But let's say trustworthy way is way too out of reach for him. Maybe in a relatable way is out of the question. Maybe I don't know, in so many ways. But this sounded robotic. That is the first red flag. Because if he didn't practice it as much, it's because he doesn't really care about the topic. He doesn't really care about the messages. Maybe his communication specialists told him, these are the words that you have to say. Make sure to memorize them word by word because they were written by this attorney. Maybe he himself is an attorney. Maybe he has he wrote those himself. But he couldn't even bother to memorize them in a way that didn't sound like robotic. I understand he's looking at the camera. This is my guess. We are looking from a secondary camera. My guess is that if he is looking at the camera, that's why it looks so detached. But I saw the sentences like disjointed from one another. Let's watch again so we can see his facial expressions.
And you're also going to hear from my opponent about text messages that I sent that I deeply, deeply regret.
I deeply, deeply regret. I'm going to zoom in. Maybe you would have, if you need captions, remember that all my YouTube videos, every single YouTube video has captions in English. But let's watch this when he speaks, he says these words.
Text messages that I sent that I deeply, deeply regret.
Let's see that I don't see actual regret. Maybe there's a pressing of the lips. He closes his eyes. There's it's a bit ambiguous. Could be regret, but also could be that he doesn't like to say these words. So I'm gonna give him half a point. Okay.
Let me be very clear. I am ashamed. I am embarrassed.
Let me be very clear. I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. Notice how robotic and mechanical he sounds. Like the voice tone is so flat. The expressions are so flat. The rhythm is so regular that it doesn't transmit anything. This is as soulless as it can be.
And I'm sorry.
Reframe this.
I am sorry to Speaker Gilbert. I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry.
I think that he's more sorry to his family to Speaker Gilbert.
I'm sorry to his family.
Let's see. Watch this.
I am sorry to Speaker Gilbert.
I noticed that he says that he's sorry, but he still had this smug face. That is something that I this is one thing that can be a bit controversial. Now, sometimes you have like what they say, like bitch resting face, resting bitch face. And sometimes your face can have some resting expressions that are not ideal. It shouldn't be that way. But that is my face. But should I do? This is the face that you're gonna show people. Well, you have to remind yourself, and you have to take an honest look in the mirror that the thing that you're projecting is not the thing that you want to project. And the thing that he's projecting right now, regardless if it is his body language baseline or the standard way that he expresses emotions, or if he actually doesn't care, we cannot tell we can't tell the difference if he actually cares about what he did, because his face is smug. It's almost, there's even a hint of a smile. I could say that 2 or 3% of a smile in there, and the droopy eyes, that sleazy look, that doesn't help like at all. Again, this could be noise from the way that he expresses himself, but he should be aware about that, and he should be aware that those messages being exposed are career endings, should be career ending, because that tells you a lot about somebody's character. If you can even be happy if somebody's kids die or are murdered, I mean, that should tell you everything you have to say about this guy. I'm just trying to give him a chance in terms of body language. And again, with the experience that he should have with a public opinion, with the experience that he should have in, how to present a client in court, how the appearance of a client, how a client's behavior, how they speak, how they talk, everything can, let's say, it's a condition of the outcome of a trial. How wouldn't you adapt to yourself? And the only explanation that I can come up with is that he really doesn't care about whatever is happening. And yeah, that speaks volumes about him.
I'm sorry to his family. I'm sorry.
I see
I'm sorry to his family.
There's at least here, when he says, I'm sorry to his family, I see something different. The 3% smile is gone. The eyes look a bit more genuine and trustworthy, and there's a lip pressing that I could say, okay, I F up messing up with his family. Maybe because he has children himself, and he said, okay, I went too far in general. But that's the thing. That's the thing. You should own it. You should have owned it. And again, how can he run if he speaks about his political opponents behind closed doors like this? And he also said, by the way, forgot to mention, so you can watch it my previous video. He also said that maybe some, a couple cops dying would help send a message that, because, people have to die. So it's incredible, right? He wants to make a point through people dying for tragic reasons. That alone is a huge red flag. We are basically in sociopath. We are easily in sociopath land here, and we are taking a one-way ticket to psychopath land. It's just an express route if we follow this rationale.
I'm sorry to my family, and I'm sorry to every single Virginian. I cannot take back what I said, but you have my word that I will always be accountable for my mistakes.
I don't know. I have my doubts about had a lot of doubts about this. I don't think this is genuine in the least, but again, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember that this is my political commentary channel, The Power Pundit. I plan on talking about American politics, worldwide politics, so make sure to subscribe. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm The Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.